Hello and all, welcome to a Galaxy Man Show interview show. So for my very next guest of tonight is this incredible singer and songwriter known by the name of Helena Ward. So I'm about to add Helena Ward into the live now to have a chat with Helena about her incredible music that she's created. So yeah, let's add Helena in and have a chat with Helena.
Hello.
Hey, Helena.
Hello from
How's it going?
Manchester. Sorry if you can hear any background noise. It's very rainy here.
You're fine. You're fine. So
Hi.
I just want to thank you so much for taking the time, Helena, for coming onto my show. It's such a pleasure having you on the show tonight. To people that don't know who you are, if you can give like a bit of backstory about yourself, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Yeah, so I'm 25. I'm a singer-songwriter from Manchester. Both my parents are from Tipperary in the south of Ireland, which is why I do a lot of Irish music. And I'm a freelance illustrator as well as a musician. And I'm a waitress to fund the side hustles, which will hopefully become a main hustle one day.
So
So
we'll
yeah.
dive right into the questions now, Helena. Yeah. So for my very first question, so you've created incredible songs, past and present. And
Thank
for the
you.
very first song I'm going to name is, you created a song called If You Want to Go. What was it like creating this song, and what's like the meaning behind this song?
Yeah, so that was really fun because during lockdown, obviously, like we all didn't really have much to do. So I would literally get up, sit at my desk and draw or do whatever. And I would put on like the top 10 country hits of like the week or the day or whatever. And I love the way that they write songs. And it's normally like a breakup song or a love song or something quite sassy. And it inspired me to write that song. So that's like my alter ego saying, you know, if anyone messes me around, I'm gone, you know, I don't need you all of this. So that's what it was like to write that song. It's really fun and it's quite upbeat. I feel like my songs are normally quite depressing, so that's quite an upbeat one. So I really enjoyed writing that one.
So on to our very next question. So you've also created a song called Never Gonna Be Like Her. What was it like creating this one, and what's the meaning behind this one?
Well, I feel like, you know, I'm sure like men as well as women have this pressure. You know, there's so many, such a big culture of influencers and having to look perfect. And I think we have this like innate nature as humans to look at other people and always want what they have. And I felt a lot like that during lockdown. And this song was just kind of like a response to combat my sad feelings like towards that kind of culture. So I think that's the song that I've wrote that the most people can connect with. Because I just feel like we all need to remember, like, we are fantastic in our own way and we should never want to be like anyone else because no one's life is ever perfect, even if it seems it. So
So on to our very next question. So you've created incredible like cover songs. What has been your like most favorite cover song to perform, and why?
so this one might be a bit, well, I wouldn't say it's basic, but it is quite a mainstream song. It's Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. It's an absolute tune. It's a banger. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. Because I usually do folk and Irish music, which is great, and I love playing it. But sometimes it's just nice to play something that's fun, and like you can see other people enjoy it, and you can have a bit of a dance with it, you know. So that's probably my favourite song to cover.
So on to our very next question. So you've also performed an incredible cover of Only Our Rivers Run Free. What was it like getting to perform this one, and what's like the meaning? Like, what does this song mean to you, especially as an artist?
So obviously, as I mentioned before, my parents are from Ireland, and I don't know whether you know, but there was a lot of like beef between England and Ireland, sort of, you know, years and years ago. And I remember I did a project on college about it because I never understood the ins and outs of it. And the more I researched into it, I realised the pain that like Ireland had gone through as a country. And that's when I discovered all these amazing songs of like heartbreak and leaving home and being persecuted for like your country and all things like that. And that's when I stumbled across this song. And it's such a beautiful song. It's people fighting for their country, and you know, they're saying that Ireland's never really been free since we sort of went over there. Obviously that's all gone and past now, it's done, but it meant a lot to me singing that song. I'm very passionate about it.
So on to our very next question. So you've also created an incredible covers, another original called Rose Wine. Such an incredible song, by the way. what was it like getting to create this one, and what's like the meaning behind, but like behind rose wine?
Yeah, so rosé wine, a bit of rosé, Zinfandel. It's about, I mean, I don't know whether you had this experience, but when I was younger, I had a job at a pub and, we were all around the same age and we all just had such a laugh. We'd go out after work, we'd get absolutely mortal, and then we'd come in the next day with a raging hangover, but we wouldn't care because we all had each other and we all had a great time. And, people would get together and they'd be breaking up and there'd be all sorts going on. So during lockdown, I really missed that. I really missed connecting with them people, and with old jobs as well. You become such good friends with people, and then when you leave or they leave, you just never speak to each other again. So it was a really nostalgic song, just reminiscing about good times.
So on to our very next question. So you've also created an incredible original song called No Man's Land. What was like the meaning behind No Man's Land?
So the meaning behind No Man's Land is basically being stuck in a period of your life where you feel like you're not going forward. So especially during lockdown and probably the past year or so, I graduated from uni and you think that all these things are going to happen and they just don't. And I went to university 2 years behind my friends, and I feel like all my friends were getting their dream jobs or getting full-time jobs or all saving for house deposits and doing really well. And I felt like, right, I'm living at home, I'm trying to become a musician, I'm also a waitress, I'm trying to get money for my illustration, and I just felt like I was stuck. And obviously lockdown didn't help that. So I feel like that's something people around my age or who have just finished uni can probably relate to a lot.
So on to our very next question. So what made you decide to become an artist in the first place? Like what captured your eyes and said, hey, I want to become a singer?
I'm sure every single person says this, but it just makes me really, really happy. When I first started out singing, I sort of told myself that I wasn't good enough to do it properly. And then as I went to uni and I started to discover I feel like something's missing from my life, I think I need to pursue music. I started doing open mics and people started to say, hey, you're pretty good, maybe you should do this a bit more. And I was like, okay. So probably only the past year I've really been trying to give it a push on sort of making something of it more than just doing it for joy, but it is simply just brings me happiness. If I don't make a penny from it, that's okay with me because I do it.
On to the very next question. So who would be your all-time inspirational person or music artist that you look up to music-wise and why?
Probably Christy Moore. He's an Irish artist. He's probably quite I don't know if maybe he's not big everywhere, but in Ireland he's massive. And I really like him because he's so unpretentious. He's just good at what he does. He doesn't need any backup dancers or crazy costumes or any of this. He's just really good at what he does. And I really admire that about him. So yeah, he's definitely my top.
So on to our very next question. So what does performing music mean to you, especially as an artist?
It means a lot because, I mean, not that people need validation, but it does sort of give you that validation when people come to watch you and they give you that time to listen to you. And like this right now, this is nice that somebody cares about my music, and that's what it feels like when I go to perform in front of a room full of people, for them to sit there and listen to what I'm saying. It's a really special feeling. So it means a lot to perform in front of people, for them to give me their time. That's really special.
So on to our very next question. So if you could work with any top 3 music artists in the music industry, who would they be and why?
So Christy Moore, for obvious reasons that I said before. The second one would be Liam Gallagher, because I'm a Manchester girl, I love Liam Gallagher. I think he's great. I'm the biggest fan of the Oasis. And then the third one would probably be Lady Gaga. Let's face it, she's just incredible. She's so talented. She's can do everything. So yeah, definitely them 3.
So on to our very next question. So what have you learned about yourself as a person and especially as a music artist during COVID?
I've learned to let go of materialistic things, and I've learned what really matters. Before lockdown, I would spend a lot of money on clothes, and I would go out all the time and spend money on meals and alcohol and all of that. And during lockdown, I had nothing but my music and my art, and that really like narrowed down like what genuinely makes me happy. So it just made me realise what's important in life, to be quite honest.
So on to my very next question. So like, what are like the positive and negatives into creating your own music, and how do you get through those like negative moments as an artist?
So the positive things are definitely, you know, you can turn a tragic situation into a song. So like I'll be really upset about something and then I'll write a song about it and then something positive has came out of that. So that's definitely the good thing about making your own music. Probably the negatives is like, first of all, comparison, like comparing yourself to other people, especially at open mics when someone's just up and then I'm on after them and they were like amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh, bloody hell, I have to follow this person now. And writer's block. Writer's block is quite prominent, especially when like nothing's going wrong in my life. Obviously, I don't want anything going wrong in my life, but that's when I write the best songs, I think. So, and I just get through it by just remembering, you know, everybody's different. I don't need to be like anybody else, and it's okay to have that writer's block and to take a minute, just breathe. Something will come along in the end.
So on to my very last question. So like, what's next for you, like music wise, like for the rest of 2021 that you would like to announce on the show?
So I'm hopefully going to have an album out in December. I have nothing on Spotify or iTunes yet, so that is definitely my #1 priority, to get my music out there a lot more and hopefully get some gigs booked in. Mainly my album hopefully will be out in December.
Well, would you like to perform one of your songs on the show, by the way?
Yeah. Let me just get my guitar. That was just next to me. So this song I'm going to perform, it's called To Oz. It's actually about my first boyfriend moving to Australia. You know, obviously things didn't work out, but me being the 17, 18-year-old drama queen wrote a song about it, and it was the worst thing that happened at that time. So this one's called To Oz. We just met, and I don't regret a single step I've taken, though I would change how much you mean. Waking nights, so alive I could stay up and listen to your stories of life and how you've changed. But you're going on a one-way plane, a one-way ticket, said you made no plans. You're just gonna wing it. How do I feel? Well, it makes me sad. Not like I could ever tell you that. One-way choice, one-way life. To us, to us, to us. It's sunny there, clean, warm air. You will have no problems, especially with forgetting me. And after a while, you will smile. You'll have found another, and she will mean far more than me. Oh, you're going on a one-way plane, a one-way ticket, said you made no plans. You're just gonna wing it. How do I feel? Well, it makes me sad. Not like I could ever tell you that. One-way choice, one-way just to us. When you come back, you won't be looking for me. You'll have a life that you built on your own, and I'll be older and hopefully happy. I'll think of the day that you went on. A one-way plane, a one-way ticket, said you ain't no pass. You're just gonna wing it. How do I feel? Well, it makes me sad. Not like I could ever tell you that. One-way plane, one-way ticket. No, you made no plans, so you just winged it. How did I feel? Well, it made me sad, and I regret so much never telling you that. One-way choice, one-way life. I wonder if you stayed, would you still be mine? A one-way choice, one-way life to us, to us.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah.
God, Helena. Wow.
Thank
Well,
you.
I just say thank you so much, Helena, for appearing on my show. It's been such a pleasure having you on the show tonight. Do you have like any last final thoughts that you'd like to give to people on the show?
Yeah, keep your eye out for if I bring an album out in December. Fingers crossed I will. And hope everyone has a lovely day. Thank you so much for having me on here. I think what you're doing is really amazing. It's so nice for people to take an interest, especially like small musicians like me. So thank you again for having me.